back to my channel. It's been a minute. It's been 2 weeks actually, and I'm back. Today we're gonna be talking about weight. It's a touchy subject. A lot of us don't like to point out or talk about at all, period. Let's be honest. So that's what we're gonna talk about today. Laziness, getting your life together in a biblical way. It's extremely difficult to do. This is one area in my life that I have been struggling with, trying to get my life together, guys. In the beginning, I wish I spoke like Morgan Freeman. He could narrate this story for you, but it's me. So I grew up very skinny my whole entire life. I've always struggled with food. I've always had a very bad relationship with food. Even when I weighed 100 pounds, I always tried to lose weight. I was never happy. I struggled a lot with body image issues, body dysmorphia. I wouldn't say that I was anorexic or anything, but I did struggle with my eating habit. It's hard to talk about. Maybe this is why I haven't filmed. I was just never happy with myself, and I was very, very cruel and mean and nasty to myself. For my pregnancy, I had a pretty normal weight gain up until like the last month. I started having a lot of complications, and I gained about 30 pounds the last like month and a half. And it was so fast that it wasn't even like, I didn't even change what I was eating. And after I had her, I felt like this empty shell of a person, and I was so depressed. At the end of my pregnancy, I was about 170. I'm 5 feet tall. That's a lot for my height, and I had never been, that size before. After I gave birth to her, I weighed 165, and I stayed that weight for a long time. I was really, really depressed. I was really mean to myself. I was really hard on myself. Like, I just didn't recognize myself, and it was just so hard. And then I got into it. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Was strict on myself. I restricted everything and anything, and I lost a lot of weight. I can't do math, okay? I went down to like 125. I mean, for my size, it's still pretty like on the heavier side, and it got to a place where like I just couldn't take it anymore. And then I came to Christ in the beginning of this year. Honestly, it's so weird, okay? For someone who's always looked at her body and just picked it apart and ripped myself up, when I came to Christ, I stopped. And I didn't notice that I stopped until recently. Fast forward to today, my pants didn't fit me. And I was like, what is going on? Why is all my clothes shrinking? Pulled out my scale, and I was like, have I gained weight? Honestly, knew I gained weight because I wasn't fitting into my jeans, but like I didn't know how much weight I gained until I stepped on that scale and I weighed 165. I weigh now what I weighed when I gave birth to my daughter. And the craziest thing about this is that I laughed. I honestly was so shocked. I'm still really shocked. I didn't even know that it was happening. Like, usually I'm very strict and harsh on myself every time I look at myself. And this time I really didn't feel it. I have noticed these little things about myself. I was putting a lot of comfort in my food and just being lazy, and I was getting really frustrated with myself. And then it started adding up with the scale thing. Like, oh, I went from so disciplined to the point where I was mean and cruel and just almost angry at myself, hating myself, to just being straight up lazy, not doing anything, not caring about anything. I don't think either extreme is good. God warns us in his word, beware of extremes. So this video is me starting this new journey of getting healthy. So this time around, I want it to be God-centered. Everything we do is for God. Every action we take can give him glory, and I think this is something that kind of was like a little light bulb switch went off in my head and it all clicked. It's not so much a number on the scale where I want to find my identity, not feeling good enough of if I'm not this weight, then I'm not pretty. I have no value because I'm not this size. If this is you struggling with this and this is something that's been on your mind, I think it's okay to give yourself grace. You are where you are. You already made the decisions that got you here today, but you're here today, and that is a blessing. Pray to God about it. Cry to him. Give him all your frustration, all your insecurities. Give them to him and ask him for guidance and for self-control. That is a fruit of the Spirit, and it is a beautiful fruit that we desperately need in every aspect of our lives, not just one area. I looked it up on Got Questions, and I'll link it down below, but I want to read this little part. It says, gluttony seems to be a sin that Christians like to ignore. We are often quick to label smoking and drinking as sins, but for some reason, gluttony is accepted or at least tolerated. Many of the arguments used against smoking and drinking, such as health and addiction, apply equally to overeating. Many believers would not even consider having a glass of wine or smoking a cigarette, but have no qualms about gorging themselves at a dinner table. This should not be. I agree with this. It is something that we can overlook or not think anything of. We can overindulge in anything. We should be able to control the things that we intake. Everything from food to social media to TV shows to music, everything we should be like, okay, that was enough. In 1 Corinthians 6:12, it says, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be dominated by anything. So right here in context is talking about sexual sin, about sexual immorality, but I think this applies for food and all sin as well. We have a freedom in Christ that is a blessing, a beautiful blessing, but can be taken advantage of without us realizing it. Something that has been really convicting. It's mostly laziness. I know what I'm supposed to be doing and I choose not to, and I think, whatever, it's fine. And in reality, it's not. It also has unhealthy consequences, like all sin. In Romans 13:14, it says, but put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh to gratify its desires. And I think sometimes food is such an easy escape, and God made food. He gave us taste buds to taste and enjoy it. There's a difference between let me have a little dessert and then eating the whole box. That's something I do. I have little hot Cheeto fingers. As I talk about this, I was snacking. I'm a snacker. I can't just have a little bit. I have to have the whole bag. Or if I'm eating a popsicle, which I love ice cream, I can't just have one. I have to have the whole thing. Why would it be sitting there just staring at me when I could be enjoying it and living my best life? But it's a lie. It should not gratify its desires. That's why it's so hard for us to fast. Are you fasting? I'm not. I haven't fasted in a really long time. And when you fast, do you break your fast? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves. We give even an inch to the flesh and it will rule over your entire life. It also says in 1 Corinthians 10:31, so whatever you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. I know I can lose 30 pounds no problem in a very unhealthy way. This time around, I want to do it for the glory of God, to respect Him in all aspects of my life, not sugarcoating anything, but truly surrendering everything to Him. And to me, laziness plays a huge part in it. That is one of my biggest struggles, is just doing something. So things that I'm doing and applying to my life. I drink no water. Okay? Zero zip. I don't like it.
What is this? Water. It's horrible.
But I'm trying to think of it as a blessing. There are people in this world that walk so far to get dirty water to be able to drink. It is an amazing blessing that we have, that everything is accessible to us. And we don't even have to drive to the store now. People drop off your groceries at your door. And something I was personally convicted of was, because I'm lazy, I don't want to cook, so I let the food that I buy rot. What I'm doing is being realistic. I think be realistic for the time that you're in right now, the season that you're in, your family, and being consistent. You can go on a crash diet. Honestly, if it's not realistic for you and your life and the season that you're in now, don't do it. There's no point, because you're not going to be able to consistently apply it for a lifetime. Like I said, I drink zero water. It's not realistic for me to just completely switch up my routine and start drinking a gallon of water that I'm not going to drink. It's impossible. Don't set unrealistic expectations for yourself. It took me a whole year to get to the place where I am now. It's gonna take me a long time to get back to a place where my jeans fit me again. Remembering what God has done in my life, where He has brought me out of, so I don't go back to that mentality that I have to be mean to myself, that I'm not worth anything, because my identity is no longer in who I was, no longer based on a number on a scale, no longer about my appearance. It is in Jesus Christ, who is unchanging. It is really hard to not compare yourself to other people and not compare your walk and your journey with someone else. It's hard. But focusing on this is you, this is your journey. Don't lose your joy. Be consistent. Push through. Keep going. Do not give up. Cooking 7 days a week is almost impossible for me. Don't guilt trip yourself if you can't cook at home one day. It's okay to eat out. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Where I'm at now, I want to use up my groceries. So setting up a meal plan for the week. On Mondays, I cook this. On Tuesdays, I cook that. Thursdays, I cook this. Wednesdays, my husband can cook. And then Fridays, we eat out. That's something that I feel is realistic for me and my family. I'm gonna start drinking 2 bottled waters a day. I'm going from 0 water to 2 bottled waters. I'm not cutting out my coffee, my milk and sugar with a hint of coffee. I'm not doing that. But I am cutting out juice and soda and drinking my water. If I drink more water, great, but I'm limiting myself to at least drinking 2. Another thing I'm doing is cutting down on my sweets. I literally will eat like 4 popsicles in one sitting. 1 a day and go from there instead of snacking on hot Cheetos.
Ooh, let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. This is serious.
If you're a big snacker and you snack on chips 3 times a day, switch up 2 of those, if not all of them, for fruit and veggies, carrots or cauliflower or whatever little things that you like, and snack on those. I'm not saying all at once. Cut out everything. Instead of eating 3 bags of chips in one day, eat 1 and switch out 2 for something a little bit healthy. What I'm doing for workouts. What works for me is a schedule, structure, 20 minutes a day, 15, it doesn't have to be crazy. I think do what works for you. If you're a mom and you have kids, if you're a mom and if you have kids, obviously what makes you a mom? Kids. What's the best thing about being a mom? The kids. If your kids are old enough is what I meant to say. If you guys like riding bikes, like go bike riding with them. If you guys have a trampoline, jump outside with them, play tag with them. Those 15-20 minutes, it will burn, it will hurt, and you have a great time with your kids. If you like running, go for a run. I don't like running. At one point in my life, I would have chased down a corn lady, chased down a paletero man, but now I'm too old, like Rose in Titanic, just laying there. I can't chase him. These knees are not as young as they used to be. Neither is this back. It's been through a lot. So running, out of the question. Not doing it. I hate it. I won't. What will I do if someone chases me? I don't know. I think about that. When I'm running, the only thing that motivates me is thinking that there's a serial killer behind me chasing me down. Even then, I don't think this is worth it. So what do? I love walks. I love looking at nature. I love hikes. I love listening to worship music and just looking at God's creation and thinking, wow, you're so amazing, talking to him. It can build your relationship with God, and at the same time, you get so lost in that you don't even realize that, oh my gosh, like I just walked 3 miles. Like who would have ever thought?
Look at us. Hey, look at us.
Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought?
Not me.
I like structures, so I do have an app. It's called Sweat, something I don't like to do. I'm doing the postpartum one because this is something that is easy, simple, easy to kind of get your foot in the door. I tried doing the regular workouts and I was laid out for 2 weeks. Yeah, that didn't work out. That's something that works for me. 2 days I do like a little workout, which is mostly stretches and like building your core muscles. I don't have any. Gardening, woo, it works your muscles, digging those holes, pulling out those weeds. It works you. Again, it's not about just losing weight. It's about honoring God with everything in my life. Just being more active, being a good steward of what he has given me. And yes, I'm not rich by any means, but I am extremely blessed to have food in my fridge, and I don't want to dishonor him with that. I want to feed the family that he has given me, be a good steward of this home and of this body that he has given to me. So don't put yourself down. Don't be harsh on yourself. Be realistic with yourself and say, yeah, like I do need to make changes in my life. I can't continue like this. It's not going to work out for me. But, hey, like I am where I am. I'm grateful to you, Lord, that you have given me this body. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I wanted to make this video not only to encourage you, but to also motivate me. I'm not going to step on the scale again until the end of the month, which is December 1st. I want to end this video with beware of extremes. Okay, don't be too hard on yourself to where you make it unhealthy and you're very harsh and critical of yourself. And also be realistic with yourself and analyze your life. Am I doing this to give glory to God? Like it says, whether I eat or drink, do it all for the glory of God. Thank you so much for watching. I will be posting a video December 1st of me checking in and seeing my progress, and yeah, I encourage you to do the same. Thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in. This is a little bit of a random video, My hair's a mess. It's been raining, but I'm grateful that you guys have watched. Thank you for sticking to the end. If this is something that you have been struggling with, let me know down below. Let me know if you're doing this alongside with me. If maybe this, convicted you a little bit. Message me on Instagram. Follow me on there. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you want to watch more videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I won't be gone. I won't flake out anymore. I was convicted yesterday at church. Give my all, Christ, in everything I do, and to stop putting excuses. Peace out, and God bless you.